Hi, it's Wendy Hernandez, attorney and creator of Command the Courtroom. Today I want to talk with you about the importance of definitions in your case, legal definitions. So, wherever it is, whatever country you're in or state you're in, as I stated in one of my recent videos, you need to look at the law. So, in your law, wherever you are, there's probably going to be a section of the law that sets forth definitions of certain legal terms. For example, there's probably going to be definitions of what it means to have legal decision making or legal custody of your child. There's going to be definitions about physical custody or parenting time. There will be definitions probably about domestic violence. So there are a lot of definitions, and you really need to get familiar with these definitions. And this goes along with reading, you have to read the law in your state. But the reason I want to bring this up, this idea of definitions specifically, is because in one of my clients' cases, the other party was accusing him of domestic violence, of committing domestic violence during the relationship. And as I talked about in one of my recent videos, he discovered by reading the law that actually the definition of domestic violence didn't apply in his case. But what he also discovered in the definition section of the statute in his state was that not only did the law in his state provide for domestic violence, but it also made a provision for domestic abuse. So I know in Arizona, we often refer to domestic violence, and that's what the statute defines. But he also had to look to another part of the statute and figure out whether there had been acts of domestic abuse, or whether he had committed acts of domestic abuse, or whether the other side could accuse him of committing acts of domestic abuse. And had he not known to go to the definitions in his state and look at what these legal terms meant, then he would not have been able to prepare his case for the courtroom. He would have been kind of flying blind in terms of not really knowing what domestic violence meant and not knowing what domestic abuse meant. So in order to effectively argue your case to the judge, you have to understand these definitions. I've talked to you about before how people come into my office all the time and they tell me, when I ask them, what do you want in your case? And we're talking about children, and they tell me, I want 50-50. And I have no idea what that means. And in many cases, people don't know what 50-50 means either. They don't know that there's a difference between legal custody and physical custody. So you have to get to know the basics. As you're building your case, the most important part is the foundation or the wireframing. And not only does that begin with knowing what you want, but it begins with knowing what the law says in your state, what those legal definitions are, and get really clear with them so you can be really clear with the judge. There's no way the judge can give you what you want if you don't even know what you want, if you're not familiar with the legal definitions in your state. So, I hope that helped. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and head to Command the Courtroom. That's where I have all kinds of goodies for you. And until next week, remember to keep on trucking and command the courtroom.